After Midnight is a 2019 American romantic monster movie directed by Jeremy Gardner and Stella. Starring Jeremy Gardner as Hank and Brea Grant as Abby. The film follows Hank as he somberly meanders about his daily life and remembers his lost girlfriend Abby and their 10 years together. It is revealed Abby recently left, only giving Hank a note. Interspersed with his dreams and memories of Abby, every night he is haunted by a mysterious monster, one which may or may not be in his head. His friends and the town believe him to be crazy, and he is shown to be devolving, shooting at a neighbor and in general breaking down. Although as the physical evidence adds up, it does appear the monster is real. Eventually Abby returns, and while they wait for the monster, she reveals she went to a reunion as she had already explained to Hank and asked him to accompany her. This only accounts for a small portion of the 4 weeks she was gone. The rest of the time she was living life, eating new food, seeing new sights, and enjoying the city. She tells Hank she does not believe she is good enough for him and that she does not like their life. It has devolved and never truly had a chance to grow into something that had anything for her beyond Hank. Hank has his friends, the woods, a life full of hunting and fun, while for 10 years Abby has had nothing but Hank. As well as the fact that Abby is now 34 and Hank has not proposed. She has begun to believe that since he is a hunter, he was only truly interested in the hunt and now wants to hunt down a new woman. Hank's response is more about himself and that he has been alone for the past month, which is true, but seems to show his unwillingness to change. The greatest scene in the movie is the ending, in which Abby throws a party. All of the crazy characters of the film show up and sing karaoke, and eventually Justin Benson-A as Shane brings up the monster and proceeds to assume he can explain it away as conspiracy theory. From here the movie shines, as Hank puts Shane in his place, explaining that a small-town cop, assuming he can explain away the mysteries of the universe, is being an egotistical fool. Tells Abby she is right. This town is terrible, and he will go with her wherever she wants and leave his life and broken-down house behind. He then breaks into karaoke. It is a very well-depicted and very emotional scene, as he sings Lisa Loeb's Stay. When he is ending the song, he is suddenly and without warning attacked by the monster, which appears somewhat like the Predator if it went through Mardi Gras. The beast runs off and Hank rises, insanely chases the creature and initiates battle. In a very fast and brutal melee, Hank arms himself with antlers and embraces the creature while impaling it. He takes it down and begins leveling brutal destruction. Initially, this battle and the creature were quite a letdown to me, being far too fast and far too easily resolved. But on rewatches, I find the scene to be quite funny, and it actually seems to get better each time I see it. Hank then hilariously tries to propose to Abby, barely getting the words out as he is out of breath, slightly battle-enraged, and slightly in shock. Everything ends on a surprisingly perfect, happy, and finite note. Very much different from the cliched endings of the horror genre. I assumed the lead would die after the monster was revealed and attacked him, that Abby and Hank would never find happiness, or that the monster would go on a brutal rampage, slaying many of the characters, and, upon being met with the exact opposite, I found it quite refreshing, and almost a twist within a genre bogged down by horrific and often never resolved endings, where the antagonist returns with one final trump card. Overall, I find After Midnight to be a great movie, very well acted and very well developed, although I would not recommend it to the normal moviegoer, or to the normal horror or romance goer. It exists almost in a genre all its own, as a character-developing film, interspersed with elements of romance, horror, and mystery. In between the romance, there is character development, and in between the horror, there is character development. and all about the mystery and confusion. There is always character development. I would recommend this movie to fans of slow-moving, character-developing horror romance films. The acting is quite exceptional. And of note, Henry Zebrowski as Wade is quite simply hilarious. To be honest, on the first watch it took me a few minutes and a few jokes to get used to his style. And he was semi-annoying. But once I was used to his style, I found him to be a comedic master, adding a great element of comedy to the film. The leads are also performed extremely well. Jeremy Gardner as Hank, who also co-directed, gives us an amazing and well-developed depiction of his character, who is practically on the screen for the whole movie. Brea Grant as Abby is very believable and gives us a powerful and emotional performance. Overall, After Midnight is a unique and well-made film, one that surprisingly becomes better with each watch, while risking offending normal horror-goers by giving us no kills, except a fast cat devouring and the death of the monster, which gets hardly any screen time at all, and possibly zero explanation, and risking offending romance-goers by being a character-developing horror comedy love story, rather than a notebook-troped emotional cry-fest. The film may or may not have pigeonholed itself into a very strange genre, one that may not appeal to a wide variety of fans. It also, for many, will move at a snail's pace. But to those who enjoy this style, and quite possibly to a much larger audience than I assume, this is a very powerful and well-done film. For sleuths, I did find a few Easter eggs and assume there are probably many more, such as a flying saucer that appears and disappears in the mural in the bar, as well as some metaphorical Easter eggs I believe exist, such as Abby's wine, which wasn't sealed correctly, so it oxidized and turned brown, although it is still drinkable and fixable. Perhaps this is a metaphor for her and Hank's relationship. Thank you so much for wading through the character-developing horror comedy, After Midnight. I have new videos coming out all the time, so please hit that like and subscribe. It is the only way I can grow. And until next time, keep sleepwalking, my friends.